Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are in the world. I am Brendan Farrell. This is the Red Horde, and we're not doing Wrexham. We are in the midst of the World Cup, and I am here to do the USA and Australia. I know the title says, hey, W&G, I know the title says Paraguay, slight mistake on creating the setup for that. But this is the Australian match. It will be starting in about 15 minutes. And yeah, I'm pumped. The US won the first game. And this win here should seal them moving on out of the group. So let me see what's going on here. How's everyone doing? In early, I see Jed, Spets, Locke, and W&G. Have not brought the game up myself yet. So if you can bear with me for a moment. See if they have it going on yet. A lot of the coverage hasn't had much of a pregame. At least not where I am. They have Spanish-speaking pregames, but they haven't had English-speaking pregames. Let's see. Checking it out. Oops. Putting it on now. Let's see. Nope. No English-speaking pregame yet, at least on this one. So I'll give that a few minutes. Pitch looks tiny, so Jed's already seeing it. Now you got me anxious. Now I got to go check it out. Should I look at FIFA World Cup Live then, see what they're seeing? Yeah, they got white uniforms on today. I don't know that I like those particularly, and I also wasn't a huge fan of the striped one. The red and white stripes. It looks like a flag, kind of undulating in the wind, and the red stripes are kind of like that. Where are they playing? Is this Seattle they're playing in? Yes, Seattle. So they're playing where the Seahawks play. Spets. Hey, Deandra, great to see you. You and I tomorrow for the Netherlands game. Oh, and I'm all in now. I had to go out and get myself a USA shirt. I liked this one the best, and I got it in a couple days. The quality's pretty good. I was really impressed. Ubisoft. So prices were good, and turned it around quickly, which was good because I wanted it for this game, right? Hopefully I don't jinx them. I don't pull a Sean. I'm going to bring up the lineup. There's one key change, unfortunately. No Pulisic. They have Pepe in on that left side, left forward position. Yeah, I don't think I didn't see the bench. I don't even know if he's on the bench, but he is not in the starting lineup. So again, we got Friesen goal, back line of Robinson, Ream, Richards, and Freeman. It's kind of crazy because I didn't see Robinson spend much time in the back line. He's almost always forward somewhere. They're letting him roam around. It's usually just Ream, Richards, and Reed holding it down in the back. Midfield, Tillman and Adams, both darn good games. McKinney also. And then forward on the right and left, you have Pepe now on the left and Dest up on the right. And Balagon is the 9. He is the target. Australia. I'm looking at the team. I don't know the names well enough to know if there's someone that if we should be concerned about specifically and focused on. You guys can, if anyone knows the Australian players well and you want to jump in. Obviously, there's people that'll show up statistically, but I don't know if they're the ones we should be most concerned on. Wow, Deandra picking a U.S. win. Yeah, I mean, Paraguay was known to be a defensive team, and we scored well against them. I don't know if it was just great coaching and we came up with a formation. That and Pulisic was just dominant on that left wing. I don't know if our formation surprised them, and now, Australia can change their formation and counter what it is that we tried to pull off in the last game. Also, my understanding is Australia is slightly more dangerous offensively. So our back line and defense in general should be tested more. So Deandra's saying 2-0 or 3-1. Yeah, I mean, I would like either one of those. 3-1 sounds pretty good. 3-1, 2-1. Obviously, we all know from watching Wrexham all the time that a 1-goal lead is nothing. And we always want a 2-goal lead to have that little, that opportunity to withstand a mistake. Oh, they're showing the stadium now. Looks pretty good. Makes sense that that they have Clint Dempsey there doing the pregame. Again, I like those red warm-up jackets. I got to try to find one of those. Those are sharp. I don't know if they've always done this on the World Cup stage where they have people unfurl these giant flags for the two countries, but this looks great. Yeah, you think this is going to be a much harder game, Jed? Burgess plays in the championship. Deandra's saying. Swansea player. The other thing that I was going to say is I absolutely love all the social media coming out around these World Cup games. So much of social media, at least in my feeds, I don't know about the rest of you, is filled with such negative stuff. And to hear all these great stories and people coming together and from different countries and feeling welcomed into the United States and Canada and in Mexico, and kind of getting a taste of the culture and how much they're being welcomed and appreciated. It's great. A lot of fantastic stories, and I just love the positivity. Plus, all the host nations are pretty psyched because they're also, they got nice. Pulisic's at least dressed. All the host cities are, got nice seeds and are off to a decent start. So that's good. Yeah, the Australians, fairly sizable team, at least the guys that were just walking out. So they're coming out onto the field at the moment, getting ready for the national anthems. We're about 7 minutes away, so we got a little bit here. Put that in. Fans look pumped. So this is one of the stadiums where the noise, they're known as the 12th man, where the Seattle Seahawks fans are very loud and raucous and really are capable of impacting the game. So I would hope that, that has to do with the acoustics of the place, and that the U.S. fans that are there can then leverage that stadium and cheer. Right now, as I can see, in the upper section in one of the corners, there's a lot of Australians, and then I can see another section right behind one of the goals with a lot of yellow Australian shirts. Ideally, I'd love to see Australia be number 2 in the group and move forward. But I don't want them scoring points against the U.S., right? I want the best seed possible. For the U.S., it wouldn't be bad to have that game of 32, that first one, to be easier. Right now, I thought I was looking up before about, if they win the bracket and if they don't. A couple of interesting matchups I'm sure many of you have heard. They could end up facing Iran in the next round, and in a couple of rounds on July 4th, they could end up facing England on the US's, July 4th, day of celebration of the country, 250th, and we'd be playing against England. That's like almost too perfect not to root for, to show up, and that would be a hell of a game. Let me see how many people are in. I know it's a Friday and people are working. Yeah, there's only 8 of us in right now. I'm sure more people will join while the game's going on. It's about 3 o'clock here. I took the last couple of hours of work off. Fingers crossed. Americans are singing away. So much fun to see. Oh wow, they're having look like some Apache helicopters and a couple other, I'm not sure what the other 2 types are, flying over the stadium. It's really nice to see everyone decked out in their team's colors, and everyone active and cheering. We are 2 minutes away. So Deandra put in her score, and I think I'm going to agree with it. I'm going to root for like a 2-1. Hopefully it's a 2-0, and then Australia can score one late, so that they don't have a tough goal difference to deal with. Anyone else have any ideas? Hopefully I'm not going to be behind like Sean was. So I'm in commercials now. I was on one channel, the pregame channel. I wasn't on the game channel. Hopefully this dumps me right into that. So I don't miss a second. But I can adjust. Spets is thinking 2-1. Jed saying 1-1. So right now the U.S. Has one win in their first. They only played one game. They have that as a win with +3 goal difference. Australia won. They have a +2 goal difference. Turkey lost. They're at a -2. Paraguay lost. They're at a -3. So a win here pretty much, I guess Turkey could beat Paraguay and Australia and jump ahead of us in the standings, presuming we lost to them, if Turkey was to win their next two. But this would put us in very good standing if we're able to win this game. Obviously, because Australia's the only other team that's won in this bracket, drawing to them wouldn't be the worst thing. That would still keep us at the top of the bracket. All right, game's about to start. U.S. teams huddled up. Pitch looks like it's in good condition. And Australia's starting with the ball. If you're watching, Australia's going right to left. And they're off. Play the ball out wide to the right side. Dest heads it upfield. Collision there for Pepe. Ball's free to Australia. They kick it forward. Dest comes flying up again. I keep saying Dest. It's Ream. I don't know why I like Dest's name. They're showing the bench now. Giveaway. Australia in the box with the ball. Really bad back pass there. Camera work sucked, so I couldn't see exactly what was going on. Yeah, back pass was not great and took his eye off it for a second. Australia sneaks the ball and takes a shot. It was easy block. All of us would have made that block. Ream just was up against the post and the ball went right to him. Freeman looks shaky as again. I was a little concerned about him last game. Ball played ahead. Robinson a mile downfield again. Mind you, he's supposed to be a center back, and he was the furthest forward on that left side. Australia trying to swing the ball around. U.S. pressuring. Giveaway, ball's going back and forth. Ball bounces back over to Freeman. Adams with it now. Gets it out to Dest on the far right. Now U.S. is swinging it back around on the back line. Oh, there's a pass in. A little bit further that needed to be trying to hook up with Balogun. It was McKinney trying to free him. Needed to put a little bit more on that. Who's favored? I would presume the U.S. is favored. Mardi Gras. Let me know if I'm wrong, guys, on that. I believe the U.S. is higher ranked. Robinson out on the far right, unable to cross it. Banged it off the Australian defender, and then it went back off of Robinson, I believe. So is that a goal kick? Little collision up front there. Trying to see if I can find any other information about the betting lines and everything. Unavailable today with a calf, so Pulisic is definitely out, is what they're saying. Robinson brings it down on left side. And then Tillman had it. Tillman's supposed to be on the right. And Tillman was way the heck over on the far left. They definitely let these guys move into open space and take advantage of stuff if they see it. Adams over to McKinney. It looks like they've kind of changed up the ball in. McKinney with it, cross. Oh, held there, no call. Robinson, what are they whistling now? This is a good play into McKinney. McKinney crosses it, and Pepe tries to get a head on it. They were grabbing him. Not enough for them to call a penalty, but a knee right into the chest of Pepe while he's trying to head it. Hey, Denise, nice to see you. Ball's knocked long down the right side. Robinson tried to get on the end of it. Picked up, passed back to Freeze. Pressure's on. And a giveaway again. Richards unable to get it. Steals it. Ball's passed forward. Oh, come on. Blow the whistle, ref. Ream's able to get a hold of it. Passes it up to the left side. Gets picked off by Australia. Back and forth. A little crazy out there right now. Australia with the ball. U.S. gets it, passes it forward right to Australia. Australia uses their keeper, just punts it down the middle. U.S. able to get on the end of it. Ball's up front. Ooh, needed a better play there. A lot of heading of the ball happening right now. I don't know why the U.S. just doesn't settle it and then take it. They have plenty of room. It's another rough tackle. This ref's got to get a hold of things. I think he's okay. I think it was just a hard tackle. Yeah, it was well after it. I mean, I'm sure that hurt because he kicked him in the, oh yeah, in the outside of the edge of the foot. Guy was way too slow on that. Free kick here. Cycling it around the back. US with the ball. Trying to get it into the box. McKinney again, nice to Dest. Dest shoots, bangs it off of the chest of one of the defenders. Very good defense. They had a lot of guys there. US still has control of the ball. Looking to get another attempt. Ball's being swung around out to the right, just with it. McKinney tries to cut back. Dest, Adams, all the way back to Freeman, now over to McKinney again. They're looking for Balogun. They want to cross it over. They also got Robinson on that far side. Australia hems them in and steals it and punts it out. So obviously the U.S. is ranked 17th. Australia is, I thought they were in the 20s. I'm trying to see how far down are they. U.S. in close. Goal! I think that was an own goal. Great pressure on the far left side. They walked all the way almost up to the goal, crossed it out in front, and ball was buried. Hard to tell right there. I want to see the replay. Good start, 10 minutes in again. 3 guesses who, yeah, Balogun. Yeah, so here's the replay of it. Ream out to Robinson. Robinson over Balogun, takes it all the way in, gets into the box, crosses it, and the ball gets drilled up and in. I don't know if Pepe does it. Is it Pepe or is it the defender? Yeah, it's the defender. He gets, yeah, he looked like he was trying to slow himself up, and he goes a little too far forward and gets it with a foot. He was trying to get out of the way, but he had planted. Bird just keeps making Wrexham fans happy. Yeah, Burgess, whose own goal there, is a Swansea man, as you guys are well aware. Australia in the box there. Nice give and go play. Great setup and shot by Lecky tried to use his outside of his foot to hook it in like like Reyna did in the last game, but was unable to. Yeah, the game's a little all over the place. Weather guy, nice to see you. Yeah, this takes a little pressure off when you get that early goal, right? Ooh, misplay there on the pass forward. Ball's in front, middle. They tried to get Dest. That was going to be a tough pass. Tillman tried to hit Dest. It got picked off. I think we're going to get a corner out of this. I like that that you've seen Robinson, Dest, McKinney, Balogun, Pepe. Everyone is making runs in behind. Their whole team has to be wary of the front, like 5-6 guys for the U.S., all of them willing to when they see an opportunity, run into space. I think it's also going to disrupt their defense. They can't just sit back. They have to watch the different players and follow them in case they leave their typical midfield spot and press forward. Here's Tillman with the cross. Header. Oh! Put it right on him. How does he miss that? I believe that was Adams. No, it's McKinney. Right on his head. And he heads it down into, who does he head that into? Oh, he hits the top of the shoulder of one of the defenders. It got him a decent amount in the chest. I thought it was the top of the shoulder. Little bit higher, and that's a goal. Ball being knocked around at midfield. Australia is losing possession pretty quickly. Their passes forward are getting intercepted, and it's not like the U.S. is giving pressure, but they're not just smothering them. I just don't think Australia's doing well. They're not taking care of the ball well. U.S. has had their falters too in doing that. That was just an awful. Like the absolute garbage there. Just takes him out because he's frustrated. Yeah, he was past him, ball and man, and he grabs on, kicks him. I hear you, Deandra. The turnovers the U.S. are having. Another foul. Now we're finally getting a flag. These are just ridiculous. They're not. They're just leveraging the. I'm going to keep fouling until. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Face rake on McKinney. Glad he got the flag for that. Boss gets nailed. Looks like they might have moved him out of the position he's in. Totally getting owned on that right side there. McKinney's just walking in regularly. I saw Locke is saying he'd like to see a U.S. player get signed. I guess that would be cool. I don't know. I mean, maybe if he was from the U.S. team or it was a name I know. I feel like the Welsh. Here's the play coming in. Here's the cross. Ooh. Had to almost bicycle that. McKinney drills it over the net. It's going to be a goal kick. I think the Welsh fans appreciate more when Welsh players are on their team. Oh, nice steal. Interception here. Ball's crossed. No one there. Goes out the far side. Australia with it. So it's not ultimately important to me that the players that there are any Americans on the team. So I kind of root for the good Wales players, the Wales internationals, to be picked because I think a lot of the people that we root along with, it means so much to them. I'd like to see them, enjoy that. So I saw Liam Roberts mentioning a couple of Wales players that he thinks that they might go after, and James was on that list. That might be a really good pickup. Aren't they? The aggressiveness that the Australian players are showing is it just seems foolish. I don't know. I don't know that they're going to intimidate the U.S. They're not like playing overly physical everywhere. They're just chopping at their legs when they get the ball. Hey, Stephen Reed. Um, and it's obvious and unproductive. I mean, I guess it could be slowing up the U.S.'s momentum, but I'd like to see the referee have enough of it. Oh, okay. So they said the FIFA World Rankings for Australia is 27. If you didn't see it on the screen there. So obviously Australia is a good team. These two are not that far apart. I don't think 17 to 27 is a considerable amount. So he has a chip ahead, trying to get the ball to McKinney. Drops onto Dest's foot. Dest to McKinney. Gets stolen. Dest steals it back. He's got two guys on him. Cuts into the middle. Pass. A lot of bodies in there. Almost the whole team is in the box for Australia. Freeze comes all the way up and drills it. Good pressure there by, I think it was Torre for the Australians. Torre playing for Norwich. What's the keeper doing that far out? Yeah, I typically we don't feel that comfortable when Arthur comes out like that. But I think the defender was trying to wall him off to allow the keeper to do that, Freeman. And truthfully, Freeman scares the heck out of me. So not exactly looking forward to Freeman being one-on-one with Torre with no extra help on that side. So chip ahead trying to get to Balogun. Almost brings it down. I thought they put it on his foot. A better gather by him, and that's a goal. Great pass ahead there. Steal again. McKinney, Balogun turns, buries it off of a defender. Australia trying to counter here. Good chip ahead. Frees Italiano. Australia finally settles, trying to set something up in the U.S.'s side. Comes across. No. Cut back. Gets stolen. Bad attempt there. U.S. just drills it all the way back to their keeper. Stephen thinking that U.S. so far looks leagues ahead. They look more composed, that's for sure. They've looked more threatening. I would agree with you as well. We were only 21 minutes in. You'd think, at least by the 20th minute, that teams should be showing who they are, should be more composed on the ball and settled and figured out the formations. Here's a cross in. Good defense by Freeman. Looks like I jinxed him into making a good play there. They had the cutter bookended here. He makes a run in. Here's the cross. I don't know why Richards doesn't attempt to get at that ball more. Maybe it was too far in front of him. I guess Freeman could have let that ball go because it got past the Australian offensive player. So he could have let it go all the way through. He did the safe thing and got his foot out on it. Guess it could have also been dangerous in that if he didn't get it clean, he would have owned goal there. Here comes the corner from Australia. They hit their big man. What are we calling? U.S. kicks that out, so it's going to be another corner. No Sean today. No, he roots against the U.S. So definitely no Sean on this game, Reed. Yeah, he's probably recovering voice wise. Looks like we got the water break now. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these. I think it's a little bit of a over exaggerating. I guess some of the games might really need a water break heat wise, depending on where you are in the U.S. But most of the games we play, we don't play with water breaks. I mean, I understand that there's no breaks in soccer the way there are in other outdoor U.S. sports, but still. And if you're going to have to give it in any games, then you have to be consistent. I get it. Yeah, I think it was used as an excuse to do commercials. I agree with you. So no substitutions yet. I'm going to go look at the statistics. See, 63% on the possession for the U.S. 0.45 expected goals, and Australia's 0.12. We have 5 shots to their 2, 7 touches in the box. 126 accurate passes, 86% efficiency on that. We have 1 corner, they have 2. We have basically the majority of shots, passes, and defense, and expected goals. Our players, the only 2 players in the sevens, Weston McKinney and Chris Richards. Then Tillman, Freeman, Ream, and Robinson, all high up there. Adams. Then finally, one of the Australian players, according to FOTMob, Aidan O'Neill. About ready to start back up here. It's funny, you can see exactly where the Australians are, the yellow patches. It's pretty cool. Freeze with the kick here. I know we have a goal, but no shots on goal. Australia on the ball. Robinson looks like he should have been able to steal that. A little pressure. U.S. gets it. Swing it back around. Ream. Richards. Adams. Out to Robinson on the left. Robinson's flying down the left-hand side. Looks like he's going to put on a cross. Jesus, that wasn't good. Australia gets a header on. It's going to be a throw-in for the U.S. If you're going to play him forward like that, he's got to be able to put on a cross at full speed. That was not fantastic. Yes, Sean did mislabel this, and I couldn't address it. Sorry for that. Sorry for the confusion. Says Paraguay. He waits sometimes for the last second to do these, and when he does them in the middle of the night, you can expect that they're not always going to be spot on with them. So, to be fair, he's working all day, then trying to be there for his family, and he waits till they go to bed, and then he sneaks down to do the work. So, yes, Sean is fully stocked in U.S. Haterade. U.S. really taking a lot of time here. I don't know what they're doing, calling out a play or something. I don't know if the Australia's changed formations. They switched McKinney on the far left now. Has the ball. Gets swung back around. Ball out on the right to Dest. Sorry, a little tickle in my throat there. Ream puts it ahead. Ball kicked towards Pepe. That's about the first time ball's been within 10 feet of him since the opening couple minutes. It's going to be a corner for the U.S. Yeah, not seeing. I thought Turkey looked pretty good. I don't think there are any slouches. I think Turkey's closely ranked to Australia. Here's the play in. Little high, misses the man. Freeman tries to run it down. U.S.'s ball on the throw in. Ball's being passed around the back again. Over on that far left side. Back to midfield. Oh, yeah, they calling it? Free kick. They giving him a card? They are. Again. Gets absolutely beat. Oh, my God. They just cleats him in the back of his off leg that's on Tillman, that's considerably away from the ball. And mind you, they're like 15 feet from the referee. I I don't know how you'd expect to get away with that. I, like, they just seem like really stupid fouls. Chip in, player takes a dive, and they give him it. I hate how that happens. How a player just falls down and the ref blows the whistle if anyone on the defending team falls down in the box defending a set piece. We covering the Scotland game after this. I don't have the stream set up for it, although I'm big Scotland fan and I'm rooting for them, and I will watch the game. But we could, you could always join in on Discord. We also could all just FaceTime on Discord or audio and talk while the game's going on. We can do that for any of the games. Feel free to just like set up meetups, and when you're on the Discord site, there's a audio video thing called the Turf Lounge. That's what we named it, and you guys can go in there and as many people as you want can join, and everyone talk and have a good time. Yeah, Boston's basically Scottish now. I know. 9 months from now, the number of babies with Scottish heritage is going to skyrocket. Yeah, the Bostonians absolutely adore the Scottish people that showed up and how they handled themselves. U.S. on the far left side, Dest, McKinney, and Freeman passing it around. They're going to swing it quickly, try to get it out to the left. They get it to Balogun. He's going to try to beat his man, which he does, then pulls back, getting mugged. Robinson gets taken down. Waiting to take their time here. Balogun with it, dancing around. Australia seems to be struggling to contain the U.S. forwards and midfielders. Who is that giant of a man? Here they go again. Oh, comes into the box, taken down. Yeah, I think it's roughly 25% of the people in and around the Boston area, especially in the suburbs in the South, are Irish. Many holding, Irish passports, as my parents do. So yeah, there's a lot of Irish, and they're friendly, quite friendly with the Scots. So yeah, Pulisic would have made stuff happen. Here we go again. Good opportunity. Ball's in the middle. Balogun decides to go wide. I would rather seen him shoot that. Here's a cross. Pepe tries to get his head on, unable to. Ball's getting knocked around. Playing, I don't want it, you get it. Yeah, they look flustered. The U.S. has been relentless. Ooh, was that all the way out? I don't think so, ref. Linesman calls. Bad call there. Yes. Thank you, Jason. You inspired me. I was unable to acquire as much spirit as you were, but I got all my flags and tried to get as much red, white, and blue and U.S. stuff. I used to spend the majority of my. Stephen was talking about Maine. I had a place in Maine, and I spent like every July 4th there for I don't know, decade and a half at least. And so all my like patriotic stuff was there. And so I when I brought it all back to where I am down near Boston, it's all packed away in the garage. So I have like all sorts of Fourth of July shirts and flags and lights and all sorts of stuff packed away. Got to go into the garage and find it all. Waiting for this. I want to see this again. I'm guessing the Australians have been the ones that are late and rough with the tackles. Don't know if this was also that. I don't know who they're going to bring in if they were to bring in someone for Freeman. Oh, you're moving back to Arkansas. Wow, from Maine, huh? I hope it's a move you wanted to make. I'm a big fan of Maine, at least certain areas. I was in the Sebago Lake area, and I'd spend time between there and Portland and Freeport and all that. What are they just doing? Giving the ball back to the U.S. Well, if anyone else saw that play in real time and want to give me any feedback about that tackle on Freeman or what went on. Well, you spend such a significant part of your life, Stephen, working that if you're unhappy at your job and you have an opportunity to move to one where you're not, that seems like it's a smart move. 41st minute in the middle of it, and U.S. is coming forward again. McKinney on the right and Dest. They're being quite progressive over there. Yeah, there's no chance Burgess can stay with them. He's way too slow. He's got to move back to the middle. There's going to be no help out there. Looks like a traffic cone. A very tall traffic cone. Dest right nutmegs him. McKinney nutmegs his guy practically. Dest again. They just look like they're toying with guys. Look at this. Look at call a foul. He's grabbing both arms and pulling them backwards. Ref, call something, please. He had him in like a double chicken wings. By the way, Scott's absolutely loving our traffic cones, taking them and putting them on the heads of any statue they could find. Dest blasts one away. There it is. Goal! They're not calling offsides, right? Are they calling offsides? They're calling offsides. Come on. Let me see that again. He blasts away at it. The ball's in the air. All right. It's played out front to Dest. Dest blasts away. Yeah, they're both offsides. Come on, guys. Yeah, they were both offsides. Did that defender, after the ball gets so Dest blasts it, there's a player lying down, it hits that player. So as Dest hits it, there's 3 US players offsides, but when it hits the Australian player on the ground, the question is, have they then become onside? So as Dest touches it, there's 2 players offsides. Question is, when it goes off that player, no, they were never brought onsides. You think it'll put the goal back up? What are they saying? I have to turn it down. Hey, Mom, how are you? What? How did they give us that? I guess it was so the other 2 were offsides. The guy that actually scored it was onside. C-card with the all caps. Sorry about that for getting blocked. You'll be back in a second. Yeah, there were 2 other players offsides that did not touch it. Freeman, the most of the center, was held onside by, it could have been number 9 here on this close side. Might have had him onside, and he's the only one who touched it. Well, it's good for him to keep his head on it, and as the punch is coming across his face. Yeah. Freeman. I am taking full credit for crapping on Freeman earlier and reverse jinxing him into that goal. It's all on me. I get the assist. Well, there's the 2 goals we asked for. I after talking to Deandra and her forecast of 2-0 or 3-1, I liked that. I co-signed on it, and I said 2-0, and then I'm okay with Australia scoring 1 late to keep the goal difference reasonable for them. Oh, wow. He's the son of Antonio Freeman, wide receiver. Very good player. trying to see if Freeman won any Super Bowls when he was playing for Green Bay Packers. I think most of you would agree that Green Bay Packers is very much it's funny because they talk about the they're showing the visual. Freeman was on sides by a decent amount. They always talk about like the Dallas Cowboys as being America's American football team, which didn't make a ton of sense to me. I mean, they had a decent run in the 90s, but and I know they were good prior to that and everything. Here comes Australia coming forward. Wow, they gave up a really, yeah, I was going to say, like, what are you giving him for? He ran into, yeah, he's swinging his arms around. Oh, his handball. That's what it was. Yeah. As Ream goes to kick it, his hand comes forward and hits the ball. But it was right in front of the ref. He wasn't getting fouled. I don't know what he was bitching about. So yeah, I see kind of Green Bay as a more better representation of an American football team that the majority of the U.S. can get behind, because it's the only professional football team solely owned by fans. Oh my goodness, just almost took his pants off. Not even trying to hide all their clutching and grabbing now. But that Vlupier has been fouling nonstop. Does he have a? Doesn't he already have a yellow? I thought he had a yellow. No, Boss is the one with the yellow. Nice dive. This guy's garbage. By the way, am I the only one noticing the number of goals scored in the 50th minute of the first half? There was one. What the heck game was it? Someone came back to score 2-2, and it was at the 50-minute, 30-second mark, and they score. So the referee had let it go well past the extended time, and I would have been bullshit having my team end up giving up a goal well past that. So there's only about another minute left here because it was +7. Yeah, this will probably end up killing most of the time. Balogun gets headed in the back of his head. Oh, chin to the head. Yeah. Sutar got him. I think they were they talking about Sutar coming to play for Wrexham, actually? I thought I heard that. Could be wrong there. But they thought he was too good to play in League One, so that he might move on from Leicester. And I think we could stand to have another center back. I just don't know how good Sutar is myself. Ball coming down the right side. Freeman making a move again. Swings it around. Dest. Oh, needed a little bit more on that, and he might have been able to sneak it by. Yeah. Needed to be a little bit stronger on that, maybe a little bit further left. Yeah. Freeman just says, "Yeah, I've had enough of you and your acting, boss." Yeah, he's also one of the guys. Freeman's the one that they keep taking out on the right side. Well, they should. You know who the Aussies should be not happy with? Themselves. They're playing like ass. Stupid fouls. Like they're not even challenges in the ball. They're getting owned. They're getting run by their back. Most of their back line is very big, but way too slow for the Americans. They're just zipping around, abusing them with the ball at the feet. Deandra going to be the prognosticator for the Red Horde. I agree. The 2-0 here looks really good. I should have stopped the clock. My bad. Reset it. Half time. U.S. looking good. Go to the stats here. Hope everyone's enjoying their Friday. Hope everyone's done with work or almost. Surprised to see Deandra in here. She usually, her work's pretty tough on her, so she doesn't get a chance. But I'm glad she's able to come in and join in the fun. Let me bring it up. All right, stats first half, 70% possession. I think the U.S. was roughly around the same number, 73%-ish against Paraguay, which made far more sense against Paraguay in the sense that they're more comfortable being, oh, you're out sick today? Yeah, me too. I'm sick. Very bad cold. Super bad. Yeah, I hope you're well enough if you are actually sick, Deandra. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And you can't make it tomorrow, let me know. But otherwise, Netherlands tomorrow. Yeah, some strong alcohol will, help you with that sore throat. XG for the US, 1.2 to a pitiful 0.12 for Australia. That hadn't moved since the 20-minute mark, right? Even before that. 9 total shots for the U.S., 2 on target, 14 touches in the box to 6. 1 big chance, none for Australia. 259 accurate passes at an 88% clip. That's fantastic. Granted, there was a fair amount of possession game going around the back. Should be a back 4, but it's really a back 3. Robinson's nowhere to be found back there. It's Freeman, and Richards. But Freeman switched and started moving forward a lot more. I think that's one of the keys, at least that I see, to the Americans being effective in the first game against Paraguay and this game, is that you're finding Robinson all the way forward at times. If it makes sense for him to carry the ball forward in the way that the defense is setting up, he'll make a run in, and then Dest or someone else will circle back. And then Robinson on the other side, he's far forward the majority of the time. It's just, you can get, and all of the midfielders have taken runs at the ball. I haven't been watching Balogun. I don't know if they're double teaming him, if they're like super focused on him. So I don't know if they're doing something smart where they're not having him make runs in behind and they're allowing other players to do that and totally disrupt the defense. They have got the ball out to Balogun a couple times. I mean, that first goal was solely on him. They had him go way out wide to get it on the left, and then he beat his man, brought it all the way in, and on the cross, the Swansea player helps us out, boop, Burgess, and drops it in the net for us. Should have had the header by McKinney, and then that play by Dest where Freeman heads in the ball that gets deflected up in the air. Yeah, great play there. Sorry, you catching me watching the replays. I'll go back to the stats as they're talking. We have all the XG. We have all the shots. Yeah. Touches in the opposition box. U.S. has been touching up a storm in the opposition box. 14. Yeah. Just about all the stats fall our way except for aerial duels. They got 12 to our 7, and they got 2 more duels won, 29 for them, 27 for us. When you look at the individual rankings, the U.S. have the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players are U.S. Freeman, they give an 8-0 to. Weston McKinney is 7-3. Dest is 7-1. Richards 7-1. 7-0 for Robinson. Tillman 7-0 and Tyler Adams 7-0. So, yeah, Pepe and Balogun have been – Pepe's been really invisible. But, yeah, Balogun, I don't know if it's purposeful or not. I don't know if they're moving him around and that's throwing the defense off. That's where their focus is. If it is, great game plan. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to have Balogun come out or go far wide to go get the ball as part of it. When he's on the ball, he's magic, and he's got way too much speed and skill. He can blast from distance, and he can just blow by defenders. So U.S. team looking good. Was worried that maybe, even though we thought Paraguay was a good team and they were very good defensively, that that the U.S. came up with a fluky kind of offensive scheme to get past them, and that they wouldn't be able to do that to the Australians. But that does not appear to be the case. We may have to concede that the U.S. Has some good players, and the coach has them clicking well, and they're working well together. The fact that they're allowing so many different people to rotate forward and rotate in, and they all seem to be doing what makes the most sense, and they're willing to pass. I wouldn't mind a few more deep shots taken when it becomes available, but Australia's had a lot of people in the box, so I would imagine that there wasn't much in the net open. So going back, just seeing how many people we have with us. 12, 13 people. A lot of people going in and out today. Kyle, I didn't see you join in. Yeah, I liked Antonio Freeman. Usually I like and root for a lot of the players that end up on Green Bay. Usually seem to have good groups of people, likable people. Sorry, just looking around here. Nice to see you, Kyle. See what's going on Twitter. Anything interesting? Let's see what. Let me see here. If I can get away with this. Not bad there. This was when they came out. This was well before the game started. Well, they were just talking about the own goal. Nothing good there. Players back on the pitch soon, I hope. They're showing some of the other. Well, I gotta turn down the volume here. I have all of these up. My bad. Getting pinged left and right. I like a lot of the commercials. I was surprised to see Pulisic have so many commercials for the U.S. Deandra bringing the knowledge, saying that the goal scorers in the Turkey game that Australia had, they did not start. They started off a little bit more defensively. They must have assumed that they had to kind of weather the U.S.'s initial onslaught, and so they went more defensive, and that has not been working out well for them. 2-0 here. Hopefully, I think the U.S. doesn't. I don't know. They don't make me feel totally comfortable if they're just going to sit back on a lead. So I hope they keep playing the same format. You know, a good defense is a great offense. Just keep pressing forward, have them on the back foot, and they won't have the opportunities to score. It's nerve-wracking being a Wrexham fan and having them, take a lead and then just parky the bus, and inevitably, after 15, 20 minutes of defending, concede something. So I understand 2-0, you can play defensive and still give up one, but I hope they do not. Don't want any players getting hurt, obviously, and extending themselves too much. So I wouldn't mind some subs at some point. Get Reina back on and get a few other guys some touches. I wouldn't mind seeing some other defenders come out and give it a shot out there. Foot on neck, like Paul O'Neill says Seacard. Yeah, I mean, I think you can. The Aussies are pretty. They're not the type to wilt, but it would be hard if the U.S. scores in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the second half and get out to a 3-0 lead. It's going to be difficult for them to stay fully motivated. At that point, they just, hey, there he is. At that point, they would just have to want to try to keep the game close and think about getting out of the group stage. Nice to see you, Sean. Sean is right around lunchtime working, I would presume. Oh, yeah, he was in court. He's supposed to be in court today. Maybe it was early. Sean totally focused on his client. Just kidding. He probably is having a break right now while in court, so waiting for his case to come up. One of the stinky things about court systems where you go in and you have to find out where you are on the docket and sit there and watch all the other cases happen. Subs coming in for Australia. Looks like they have potentially 2 guys coming in. Who is that? It looks like they're bringing in Jason Garia and Connor Metcalf. Apologize if I butchered his last name. Don't know either of those guys. Glad you could join us, Sean. I know you can't hear us. Announcers thinking that this is going to be a formation change, U.S. over the ball. About ready to kick it off here. And they're off. They didn't like that. I don't know what that was. I don't know why Tillman was just blasting it. Wow. So they just blasted it out of bounds. The first one, they're doing it again. They're basically saying, go ahead. It's easier for us just to take the ball away from you. So start with the ball down in your end. We'll take it from you, and then we'll be in better position to score. Ball gets cleared all the way down to freeze. Yeah, Burgess was just getting run past. I mean, it's a smart play to get him out. You saw when anytime he extended, he couldn't keep up. Australia really pressing forward here. Pepe, got to play stronger, dude. Robinson trying to get back. And that's going to be the U.S.'s ball. Yeah. O'Neal, you just got to play tougher, my man. Well, I was worried that they didn't start Pulisic, and I was like, couldn't you just played him a little bit and then, like got him out once you got a lead? But they did the smart thing and decided to hold him out, get him as healthy as possible for the games where they really need it, the knockout games. And so far, it's looking good. Very physical start here. Sutar still playing quite physical. He's going to have to manhandle people. He certainly can't keep in front of anyone. I don't know how much it makes sense to have like Burgess and Sutar in your back line unless you're expecting to give up set pieces constantly. They're both monstrously big. Just they look so slow. Hey, Dad, nice to see you. Glad you could join. US up 2-0. I will contact you later. Lincoln's planning on Sunday. So we'll talk later. Ball being passed around the back line. A little over 3 minutes into the half here, second half. Kenny knocking it forward. Desk gets taken out. No call. Yeah, U.S. guy touches that and then gets his back foot clipped, and they don't call anything. Yeah, he's put away his whistle here. I just hope no one gets hurt. The Australians have ratcheted up the physicalness. Obviously, their coach lit into them at half. The U.S. just looking not to get injured. Definitely changed the formation. They have a lot trying to press the ball. They do have a lot. They have 5 across the back line, though. 5-2-3 here. Ball goes back to the keeper who just blasts it up in the air. Little panicky there. U.S. composed. I didn't think you had to bring the ball back all the way back there and reset, but they did. They were okay killing clock. They're up 2-0, so they're just going to take their time. Ball's out on the ring. Desk cutting inside. Cuts it across. Ref was kind of in the way. I don't know where that pass was going to. Freeman was. I don't know if he just got confused there or what, but that was not a great pass by Dest. Jed giving us his grass analysis. Nice flop there. U.S. steals it, coming back the other way on the counter. Ball's ahead to Balogun. Here he goes, coming down. 1-on-1 with the keeper. Oh, he chips it. Oh, he slowed down. Defender gets back. Yeah, Alessandro Catartari. Sorry. Balogun could have done more with that. Should have done more with that. U.S. have a set piece here. Couple of these, they've had opportunities. They got them on the heads of guys, and the headers just weren't perfect finishes. But we've scored twice after the rebound, so almost so. Australia defend it, try to counter, but U.S. is able to get it. Yeah, bad pass out by is that Torre, and they cough up the ball. Australia does. Back to the U.S. Ball's into Balogun again in the box. Him and 4 Australians, 5, 6, 7 Australians in Balogun. Gets another corner. Great play. Short corner it. Ball's back in. McKinney looking. Decides not to cross it. Swings it around. Freeman with it. Back to McKinney. Sorry, Freeman with it now. Got a little confused there on who's who. Who's snuck towards the back? Is that Tillman back there? Tillman's 16 and Freeman's 17. Their haircuts are fairly similar, so I'm sure I'm screwing it up. Tillman with the corner here. Oh, hits Balogun. Yeah. Head to head again for Balogun. Yeah, he got a chin to the back of his head earlier, and now he tries to head it, and it looks like he hits the back of the defender's head. Same guy getting in the mix again. Guy is chasing around Balogun. They must be trying to match his speed with that defender. Famous Marshawn Lynch famously played for Seattle during his career. They had Sierra, which is Wilson's wife, right? Is that who that was up there? Ball being swung around. Chipped ahead. McKinney trying to go in. Australia makes a nice defensive play. It's going to be a throw in. Yeah, Russell Wilson up there. Ball's thrown in. U.S. has it again. Tillman swings it around. Ream with it. Gets it over to Robinson. Australia token pressure here. Chip ahead. They try to spring. Dest unable to. Too close to the keeper. Should have gone wide with that. Nice steal again in the midfield. Bad pass out. Australia has it. Rolling around on a legitimate foul. But the ref was playing, wow, yellow. Is it that hard of a? Certainly acted like it was. I don't know. That's garbage right there. Let's see the Robinson one. The Robinson one was a late kick. Stupid. That stupid foul right there by Robinson is what the Australians have been doing all game. They don't get to the ball, and then they just kick at the defender as the defender goes by. Stupid. Deserves yellow just for being stupid. %71 on the possession for the U.S., 1.35 xG. Australia has not moved from their 0.12 xG. Accurate passes, U.S. is up to just about 90%. Here comes a breakaway by Pepe. What's he going to do? Passes it back to Robinson. U.S. sets. Talking about yellow card accumulation. So we should see some subs to address that. Dest with the ball. They double team him. Look at that flop on the ball. They gave it to him. Australia coming forward. It's one way not to pass the ball to the U.S. Just don't pass it. Tried to carry it all the way upfield. Got knocked out of bounds. Australia trying to string together a couple of passes along their back line. Australia moving into the U.S. side. They dive on the ground once they get a little pressure. Here's a cross. Ream goes to head it. I think that's a U.S. ball. Whoa, they give a corner. That went off. That's bullshit. Bad call by the ref. Yeah. He headed that off the chest or shoulder of 17. Yeah, Nestory. They reverse it. The Australia hasn't had anything in our zone to give them an undeserved corner and give them an opportunity to get back in the game. You can't allow that. Lecky saying he's too hurt and needs a timeout. Yeah, they're doing anything they can now. They're looking for opportunities to dive and get a free kick and try to set up a set piece. They still have Sutar out there that probably tried to get the ball on his head. Was he like 6'6" or something? They finally, because he was rolling around so much and took up so much time, and the physio came out, they've had to bring him off to the side. Lucky. Seems like he's fine. No, they're subbing him. He's been almost invisible out there anyway, so. Christian Volpato. That's their fourth substitution. Goal kick for the U.S. So they did reverse that call, rightfully so. I don't know when they end up going to the replay officials and someone corrects them. I wonder if anyone knows and they want to explain that. Please feel free. U.S. with the ball. Good move. Oh, they hit Balogun in stride and he screwed it up. Here comes, oh no. Here comes a play for Australia. Are they calling a penalty? What are they calling here? Here's another dive instead of trying to score by a player. Let's see what happens. See if he was tripped. Oh no, he's not even looking at him. There's no way they're calling that bullshit. He's not even looking at him. They're not calling that. That's just garbage. You probably know, but would have more views is the live name. Was the oh yes, Tattoo Goddess. It says I know we would have more views if it didn't say Paraguay. Thank you. Someone else made that thumb and wording, and unfortunately, that's what I'm stuck with. But thank you for pointing that out. and welcome, and hope you're enjoying your Friday. That was a really great counter opportunity after Balogun blew that breakaway. That U.S. has sprung him a couple times now, and he's been unable to do anything. Throw in here for the U.S. They get it to Balogun again. He's in the box with one guy, unable to turn on it. Gives the ball up. Australia has it. Again, he should have been able to do a little bit more with that. '63rd minute, 2-0 still. Australia into the U.S. side near midfield, working it back around. Yeah, the Turkey-Paraguay game, which is the other two teams in this group, are playing at 10:30 tonight. I think is that West Coast time, 7:30 U.S. time. I'm not sure. Ball's kicked all the way back to the U.S. keeper. Yeah, also rooting for. Well, we were typically doing the Wrexham stuff, but each of us that has our own teams in the World Cup, we're doing some of their games when we can. Hoping people are enjoying them. Australia takes their time, finally shows some composure, gets a good opportunity. I don't know if that Australian player is a lefty or not, doesn't get a ton on it. Not a bad shot. And the keeper's easily gets down and smothers it. Camera work was showing us replays, so I didn't see the attack by the U.S. Long play ahead. U.S. goalie out. Another dive trying to get something. They are working hard to get any calls they can. They're just, please give us something, ref. We can't beat anybody on our own. Balogun keeps it in. Slide tackle clears the ball out. He hadn't even finished falling. He was yelling, hey, before he got hit. They gave him that? They didn't give him that. You didn't even have the ball when you got hit. This is going to be a flop fest for Australia the rest of the way. I'm absolutely losing respect for them as they continue to try to manufacture something. U.S. swinging the ball around. Weather guy asking, what was it, July 22nd, I think is it 20th or 22nd is the U.S. women's first game against, was it Armenia? I think it was something like Armenia. There's an Irish team, and I'm trying to remember the other team. Sean put it, you know what? I'll bring it up on the screen because Sean did a nice graphic in Discord. So I will show that. Is that maybe he put it in general? Give me a second. Where did Sean put it? 22nd, yeah. Which is it off topic? Which one did he put it in? Another water break. Good timing. I don't know why he didn't put it on the women's team, right? Like, we would have liked to. Oh, no, he did. Okay. Yes. So I'm bringing it up on the screen. 1 second. Boop. There we go. So what you're seeing here is, it was Lithuania, and then Turkish team and Irish team and Wrexham. So it was Armenian. How are we getting Armenia? And then they're up in Latvia. What am I getting wrong here, guys? Help me out. I see Riga. I guess the Armenian one is the Turkey one, right? Okay. My bad. So we play Turkey first. And then I think if we win that, we play on the 25th. And if we win on the 25th, I think that means we win the division. And then we move forward. I think that's what was said. So 22nd. And if you win, 25th. So, yeah. I'm old, but my memory's not totally gone. So I did remember that being discussed. Water break's still happening in the game. So right now the U.S. is playing. This is I saw this done the other day. So maybe you'll find this interesting, since I do have the map up for Europe at the moment. So right now the U.S. men's team's playing in Seattle. If you were to drive on the highway, pretty much the most direct route from Seattle, which is in the far west, northwestern part of the U.S., continental U.S., not counting Alaska, and you were to drive to New York, which is on the East Coast, but you can go much further east if you go to Boston or up into Maine. But if you go just Seattle to New York, that's the equivalent of driving from Paris, France, to north central Iraq. Roughly the same exact distance as is Seattle to New York. So those of you who aren't from the U.S. and don't understand how big the U.S. is, that's a good representation distance-wise, if you're more familiar with Europe, of how big the U.S. is if we overlaid it onto Europe and the distances that people go. Obviously, it would be far greater distance if you went from Seattle to, say, Miami or something like that. But still, I will go back to the game. Somehow I got ahead on the clock. I don't know if they actually stopped the clock, but the clock that I'm watching says 71:25, and my game clock says 71:47. So just be aware that there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. Looks like they've got subs lined up coming in for the U.S. Looks like they're about ready to bring in Berhalter. They've had his dad on a bunch of shows giving feedback. Former coach for the U.S., I believe. Another dive by Australian player, not at all shocking. Scrambling around right now. Robinson with it. Handball, they don't call it. Ream with it. Oh, he gets taken out afterwards. Give her a flag. It's going to give him a call. Big crybaby. Arinkunda just takes out Ream after he kicks the ball. Yeah. No real reason other than throwing a temper tantrum. Because they played physical with him when it was appropriate to play physical. He just cheap shots a guy after the ball's away. Great emotional discipline there. Berhalter now in for a sub for the U.S. I would imagine that they will chew into the clock with multiple windows and substitutions over the last 20-ish minutes. Nice hold up there by Balagon. They just hold both arms so that the guy can't go anywhere. They call the guy for the extra shoulder that he gave Balagon as he walked by. Nice. Calling the extracurriculars. Steal again by the U.S. coming forward. Balagon's got to get back on side. Shitty pass there by Berhalter. They just brought him in. Come on, wake up. He's a hustle guy, so hopefully he'll steal it back here, but it's a shitty pass. Australia moving forward. They kick it out wide to the right. Robinson's going out, closing the distance. Australia taking their time setting something up. Stringing together some passes, not like them so far today. Here's a cross. Oh. Oh, is that a handball? No. Here comes another cross. Richards on the end of that. Robinson heads it. They get it out near Dest. Australia is able to regain it. 78th minute coming up. U.S. a little bit on the back heel here, but they seem composed and relaxed. Bring it to the edge of the box. Looking to make something happen. They finally get it inside the box. There's a cross right at Richards. He's able to head it away. Burkhalter on the ball. Ball gets knocked out by McKinney, I believe. It's going to be a throw-in for Australia. They get it in quick. Yeah, it looked like a handball. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a penalty. His hands are down. He's not even aware. It's not like it's in a position where you're trying to obstruct. He's just using his hands in front of him where there's contact with another body. Here comes the last the sub for Australia. They just brought in Jackson Irvine. I don't know what this is. I hope Robinson isn't thrown out because he's already on a yellow. They're going to replay this foolishness. Oh, geez. Come on. This is everything wrong with the game. The back of his hand as opposed to the front. So yes, the hand made contact with the face. I don't know. Any guy that's played any sport gets hit in the face. There's a difference between someone raking, pulling at an eye, punching, and then the back of someone's hand brushing across your face. I mean, as you're getting boxed out, like that was nothing. Looking for some more U.S. subs here once we get into the 80th minute. Here's a corner by the crybaby. Nice header out by the U.S. player. Follow up by an Aussie blasts it. I think the ball would have been blown dead anyway. Freeman, who's suffered quite a few knocks. He and Balogun have been battered quite a few times. Maybe they want to think about getting those guys out. Yeah, two players coming in. Austin Trusty coming in for Dest, I'm expecting. No. And Joseph Scally. They did get Robinson off. I guess they were holding it up because they were trying to see if Freeman was hurt. So they were okay. They did get both guys in. Well, no, we're lacking a guy getting a guy in. We have to use another whole window. Really tight on those rules about how quickly you can sub a guy in, and the U.S. was waiting to see on Freeman. Seems reasonable, but I can understand you needing to stick tight to those things so that they don't get abused. Come the Australians again. Yeah, this win would guarantee the U.S. move out of the group stage. It would not guarantee winning the group stage. It all depends on Turkey tonight, because Turkey could win tonight and against the U.S. And presuming goal difference could then win the division, but that would be a tall ask. Australia taking their time trying to find a opportunity. Looks like the Australians are playing a woman with ponytails, with a big ponytail. Jackson Irvine. I do not think Australia has looked fantastic. I don't know if that's the U.S. just making them look that way, or if they didn't play that well. Did watch the Turkey game, but I didn't think I thought Australia looked a little better than this. Coming up on the 83rd minute. Coming into the box, here's a cross. Good defensive header out by Ream. Ball's getting knocked around. A bunch of calls for a handball. Nothing. Australia gets the ball. Looking for an opening to shoot it. Here it is from the far right. Another cross. Balogun with it. They're trying to pressure here. Australia is able to keep it in. They have everyone pressing forward. Richard comes over safely, decides to just block it away, let them take the corner. Oh, you know who flopping around again. Yeah. Irakunda's just a actor. Too far on that cross on the corner. Oh, wow. Big foul there. Wow. Holy crap. Multiple opportunities. Call something, ref. Richards is hurt. Suter again. He tosses him out of the way. Sutar, yeah. There is a huge size difference between the Australian offensive player and Berhalter. Berhalter is a tiny guy, so any leaning on him, he should fly, which he did. That initially, when I saw him moving away, I think he maybe went with the push a little bit. I'm not too upset about that one. Sutar just did crash into Richards, and though that initially it looked far worse. I'm not exactly upset at that one either. Ball's getting headed around. I would guess we're going to get quite a lot of, oh my goodness. Call that, ref. Yeah. What, they're calling it against Balogun? He absolutely climbed him. Oh, so did you get to watch that game live, Jason? Yeah, Steven. They just pulled Balogun down and they got a call on it. I don't get it. Australia with it. This is only 3.5 minutes of regular time. Sutar late to the game just crashes into Richards for the heck of it. Yeah. So Jason, if you can, how did Australia play? Not, I know they won 2-0, but how deserving? Did they look like a good teams? Did they look better than they look today? Because they don't look like much today. Bunch of U.S. players down. Sutar now cheap shots after Freeman went down again. Well, Sutar's taking late shots at people. Ref's got to get a hold of this game. I want some subs. Well, that could be dangerous, double yellows getting you. How about the foul on, was it Freeman? Oh, look at this. Sutar just lined him up specifically to try to hurt him. And Balogun saw it coming and tried to headlock him. They missed the late tackle. Look at that. He just played the man. He just shoved the guy there. No call. Look at that. It called something. He just went in and took out a U.S. player again. They're not even playing the ball. Ref, wake the fuck up. Sub a thug in to take out Arakunda. In the replay, it looks like Arakunda didn't know what was going to happen. He lined that up. So if you guys aren't seeing the chat, Jason thinks they looked great against Turkey and that they just look off tonight. Yeah, I thought Australia was a little rough in the Canada game against Australia. I think it got really chippy, yeah, if I remember right. +6 on the time. We're in extra time. We're about 30 seconds into extra time, at least in the game that I'm watching. My clock's a little further ahead. Here's a really high, long, awful cross played out. That was out. It landed out. The whole ball landed out. Yeah, this guy has zero control of this game. He allowed the second half where Australian was coming out super chippy. Arakunda just drilled Ream in the back when no one was looking. I think Ream's going to go take a shot at him, hopefully. Oh, that was a great cross. Balogun couldn't get there. All yellow in the box for the most part. Nice. Look at the acting job by Arakunda. Hit him harder next time, would you? Nice. Now the ref's wasting time. Don't they have a fourth guy? Couldn't they sub him out? Yeah. What is this? Magic juice? What the hell's this crap? Magic elixir. It's going to add a couple more minutes to the game. How about a couple of subs? Right? We still have a window, right? Deandra has spider senses. Ball's high in the air. Balogun unable to first touch control that again. It's not his sharpest game. It's been very physical. The paperwork isn't ready. We tried to sub again, and the fourth official wouldn't allow it. Here we go, finally. Here comes Reina. No, and Hajj right. Yep. Good, you got Balogun off. Weston McKinney, another great game. Oh, fouled again by Irakunda. He dives again. What a shock. Unproductive as usual. US with it. Here it is. Here it is. Pass it ahead. There it is. Breakaway. Haji right. Searching. Took way too much time. Yeah, they'll probably only give him one more minute. Ref was down for maybe 2 minutes. The US player up stalling. Ream with a good header away. Yeah. Drilled into the corner, going to let it bounce out. It's going to be a goal kick. They're going to take their time here. What was a really good performance just turned into a shit fest. The Australians could not win, so they just absolutely eviscerated the game with nonsense. Breakaway here. And it's over. The U.S. will move on out of the group stage. 2-0, putting their goal difference at 5 now. I hear you. The question is, where was the U.S. great, or was Australia just ass and was Paraguay ass? I don't think Paraguay was that bad. I just think the formation and everything in the U.S. It was just their night, and they played very well and had all the chances. I don't think Australia played well. I think the U.S. played well, not great, but they looked considerably more dominant, I think, because Australia played like shit. So, yeah, I think it was a good workmanlike. I mean, they did what they had to do. They didn't extend themselves after they got up the 2, and they were smart enough not to get into the, physical retaliatory physicality, which I wouldn't have been able to do. But I'm glad they were able to control themselves. Yes, Tattoo. We're all rooting for that July 4th match, U.S. England. If the U.S. wins this and comes out of the bracket number 1, and England comes out of their bracket number 1, they look like they're lined up for that. So that would be super exciting. A lot of English people still feel that that this is the England's year, and that that they feel like they would absolutely crush the U.S. That they feel they're a far superior team. They have a lot more names, I think, definitely, and maybe even star power, right? But yeah, I think it'll be exciting. You think it's not statistically possible for the U.S. to play? I thought others have said that it would line up for the U.S. in England on the 4th. I guess we'll see another couple of games, and things will start to be a little bit more clear. I will be doing the Netherlands game. Really, Deandra will be doing the game. I'll just be in the background kind of pushing buttons. Thank you, everyone who joined in. It was an exciting day. I hope you have a great weekend, and your teams also do well. Is there anything in the stats worth looking at? 62% on possession, 1.3 on XG. They gave Freeman the number 1 in the game with an 8.5. So thanks, Spets, for stopping by. I am going to wrap it up. And yes, I will see you again soon. Thank you, Horde, and have a good weekend. If you're unable to join Deandra and I tomorrow, see you.